The 8th at Saratoga. This is going to be the Grade 1 Metropolitan Handicap. It is, oh, hold on. Let me just check my notes. I'm almost positive. Yes, this is a Breeders' Cup qualifier to get you to the dirt mile. So the winner gets their shipping fees and stable fees paid for when they do, if they choose to come out here to Del Mar. So this is the Grade 1 Metropolitan Handicap, $1 million purse, going a mile on the dirt. One thing I do want to point out is Saratoga, a little bit of an odd turf course, or at least for the mile. It shoots you out kind of toward, like, parallel to the grandstand. They go up the kind of first turn and then they go into the backstretch. Just something to think about if you are one of those, it's kind of a funky mile going forward. Raider Jim, your thoughts on the Grade 1 Metropolitan Handicap?
I have not seen a field this fast in a long time. This is going to be quite a race, starting with the number 1 horse at even money right now. Fierceness on the rail. What a fantastic horse this is. John Velazquez, trained by Todd Pletcher. You can't get better than that. Fierceness is just consistent of late. Already has over $4 million in winnings in his career. But then you go right next door in the lane next door. Number 2, White Abarrio, always been a favorite of mine. Right now at 9-5, it's going to be that's going to be a race to see. Now, the last White Abarrio has just recently won the Pegasus World Cup and did so in good fashion. Going to have to bring that game in order to compete with Fierceness and get into the winner's circle. Those should be the 2 horses to watch. Kind of go past number 3 at 20-1, Castle Chaos. I think he's there just as kind of like a rabbit would be in a track meet. You just send them out there, give one more horse out there in the field. The 4 and 5 horses are nothing to sneeze at. Either one of them could probably make a run for it. The 4 horse is just a touch. This horse has speed. Can it keep up with the likes of Fierceness and White Abarrio? I am not sure of that. And same with Raging Torrent, the 5 horse. Thing is, they have okay value. They're the best value you're going to find as far as really making a shot at getting in the money. Just a touch is at 4-1. And on the outside, that 5 horse Raging Torrent is 5-1. Note, Raging Torrent, one of the owners, was a guest on First Off the Bench, original Call to Post. Mr. Craig Dado is one of those owners. And so kind of cool. I thought about trying to reach him and see, just give us a comment on Raging Torrent and how you think you're going to do. And I just didn't get around to it. But good luck to Craig. And, let's see where he ends up on Saturday. Have a feeling.
Yeah, this, as you mentioned, the speed in this race it's mind-boggling. And as you mentioned, Castle Chaos, best of luck, and I wish the best for you, but I do kind of think this might be a little bit of purse hunting, hoping for a 3rd place finish. It's between the first 2 horses, with all due respect to everyone else. I mean, these 2 might be the favorites if the Classic were to be going off today. I'm sure there's some 3-year-olds that'll be running a little bit later in the day on Saturday that would like to maybe step in there. But in terms of the 4-year-olds and up, I think Fierceness and White Abarrio are the 2 best, at least in North America. So that is maybe a little early showdown. And these 2 horses have never locked horns. So 2 horses that I think are at the top of their game. White Abarrio, little older at 6 years old. Fierceness, 4 years old, having a great 3-year-old season. Even last year, just finishing a length and a half off of Sierra Leone in the Classic. An incredible run. It's going to be very fast. My big question will be who gets on the lead, and if that maybe comes into play down the line, because both of these horses want to get on the lead. It's a small field. They're both on the rail. do these two maybe race each other a little too hard early on? And maybe we sneak our way and find some value, as you said, in the 4 and the 5. The 5 is now the fact that Craig Dado, and thank you so much for bringing that up. I very rarely kind of check out the owners, just because, I don't, most of it's Qatar racing or, Blood Horse or, whatever. But I had Raging Torrent as kind of my best of the rest. And I was leaning a little bit more towards Just a Touch, but Craig Dado's name being on Raging Torrent, I really like that. Cheering for him. I had a great interview a few years back. I love the run in April at Maiden in the Godolphin Mile. And this is a horse that ran very, very well. Of course, this is a time form of 119, but that is very competitive with some of the big boys in this race. My big question, though, that was the first race that horse ran at a mile. Is the odd layout again? Like I am kind of sometimes one of those people where we see a race that on a really big course that is a mile, but it's only one turn. I do think that does factor into it. Technically, this is still 2 turns, but it's like 1.5 turns. Again, I hate to keep kind of harking on that, but I do wonder, just because this horse doesn't run at a mile a ton, does that factor in? But I do really like Raging Torrent on the outside to, who knows, maybe pick up the pieces late. But I would not be surprised to see Raging Torrent actually be on the lead when they turn for home, just because that's where this horse wants to be. Unfortunately, I don't think that's the best strategy to beat either Fierceness or White Abarrio. But this horse has so much early speed, not a lot of late speed. I think it might be its only way. It's going to come down to Fierceness and White Abarrio, in my opinion. So this is one for me personally. I'm just kind of, I'll just sit back and watch, because the show payout might pay out more than the exacta if you get White Abarrio and Fierceness in there. So
Just to
moving on.
add to
Oh yeah,
add to what you were saying about Raging Torrent, when you look at the DRF, who's coming out of the gate, who's going to lead it out of the gate, if you line up these 5 horses, the way that they presented it on DRF was Raging Torrent is actually the one that's going to break.
yeah,
And Raging Torrent will be first, and then it's followed by Just a Touch. Then you go down to White Abarrio, Fierceness, and then Castle Chaos, bringing up the end. But yeah, they said Raging Torrent is real fast out of the gate. Look for Raging Torrent to take that early lead. And you're right. If depending on how he's ridden, stranger things have happened. You and I have seen it. So we'll keep our good wishes and cross our fingers for Craig and see what happens.
yeah. We're all pulling for you, with or without a ticket in our hand, and that's saying a lot.